Hi guys, it's Ray here, hope you're fitting well. So this is a bonus video especially for you parents because I noticed that the majority of people that booked onto the J4K 30-day challenge on how to become bulletproof and super confident as a goalkeeper was actually the parents. So I actually never planned on doing this video, but I wanted to do this for you guys, okay? Yeah, because first of all I want to say a massive well done for having the vision and the decency to basically put your child on this 30-day challenge, to obviously to help them become super confident, because it is so important for the goalkeeper, actually for children in general. What you will learn on this 30-day challenge, guys, will help you with your child, with the goalkeeping, with their school. Honestly, it'll really help them. So first of all, I want to say honestly massive well done for booking them on. Also as well, so the reason why I wanted to create this video, by the way, if I'm talking a bit heavy, by the way, as what my wife says, I've got a bit of man flu, so I'm struggling a bit here today. But another reason why I wanted to put this together for parents is I want to make sure that everything we do over the next 30 days to build up your child's confidence is some idiot, okay, because they're all out there, aren't they, doesn't say something that's going to knock their confidence. So this video will hopefully help you in the weeks, months and even years to come to make sure that you protect your child from, obviously, unfortunately, the idiots that are out there. Because the number one reason, especially for younger goalkeepers, it happens to older goalkeepers as well, but especially younger goalkeepers, like who just started out in goal when they're 7, 8, 9 years of age. They just started out in goal. They're not sure what's right, not sure what's wrong. And then when they get adults shouting from the line, even the coaches shouting on the line, because as parents we obviously bring our children up to respect their elders, and a lot of children think that every time an adult says something that the adult is right and they're wrong. And as parents and adults, we know we're not always right as adults, and especially when you've got parents, especially like the parents and the coaches, who, if they've never played in goal in their life, they honestly, please listen to what I'm going to say here. If they've never played in goal in their life, and your child has played in goal for one season, your child will know more than the adults. Seriously. Now again, you've got to do it in a respectful way, which I'll explain how to do that in a moment. But that's one of the main reasons why a lot of goalkeepers, especially the younger ones, but it even happens when they're 13, 14, 15 years of age. So when the teammates shout nonsense at them and the parents on the line and the coaches shout things on the line, what happens? That chips away at the goalkeeper's confidence, especially when a goalkeeper doesn't really, say they're new to goalkeeping and they don't know what's right, what's wrong. They think everyone else is right, especially the adults. But what happens is the more a goalkeeper plays in goal and they then start to understand, and hopefully if they've got a good goalkeeping coach who can guide them, once the goalkeeper knows what's right and what's wrong, they know when they've made a mistake, they know when it's not their fault. Even when they're 7 or 8 years of age, they've played in goal for 1 season, 2 seasons, what happens then is that when a goalkeeper starts to understand, they don't need anyone else to tell them that they've made a mistake, because they know, if that makes sense. But the point I'm trying to get across here is, once your child has played in goal for 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, you need to drum it into them that they know more than any parent, and probably even the coach. Okay, and especially their teammates, especially if they've never played in goal before. But again, that still doesn't stop, obviously, some parents who think they're experts. Okay, they've never played in goal in their life. Some of them look like they've never exercised in their life, and because they watch Match of the Day of a Saturday, they think that they've got the right to shout things at children. It's wrong, it's annoying, but it happens. Thankfully it's happening less and less now. But you've got to protect your child from, obviously, these adults who are shouting things at the child. So the first thing you do is just remind your child that they know more than the parents and their players. And normally what I always advise my students to do is, when the parents are shouting like nonsense at them, is don't even look in their direction, just keep watching the game. Because when you look at them, you encourage them, okay, yeah, and you think, okay, oh, they're listening to my amazing tip. Don't even look at them, just keep watching the game. And hopefully, if the coach or the management has got something about them, they should stop that straight away. They should not. The only person that should be shouting at the players, and in a constructive, positive way, is the coach. Nobody else. Okay, yeah, allow parents to shout positive stuff, but as a coach, you should be saying, hey, listen, shout encouragement, great, but you do not shout one negative word to any of my players. Now, thankfully, most coaches do that, but it still happens, unfortunately, where some coaches allow that to happen, and I'll explain what to do in a moment. But the first thing, as a parent, just tell your goalkeeping child that once these parents are shouting nonsense, don't even look at them. If the coach is shouting nonsense, just give the coach a wait. Okay, coach, yeah, but in your mind go, you're wrong. But make sure afterwards you go to the coach, or even you've got to go with the parents and say, look, you blame me for the goal, that was not my fault. But the more you start to play in goal, the more you'll understand that, if that makes sense. And even with your teammates as well, as I say, if the goal goes in and you all blame yourself, okay, I'm going to actually be doing more on that in the 30-day challenge. But again, when you know that your teammates are wrong, can you see where it's not going to affect your child as much? And that's the biggest reason that affects children, is like, it's because of other people shouting stuff at them. But when you realise that the majority of stuff that's getting shouted at them is wrong, can you understand where it won't affect them as much, okay? But again, so that's the first thing, you've got to just drum into your child, listen, you know more. And again, you don't be arrogant or shouting, please make sure your goalkeeping child doesn't say, hey, I know more than you, okay, yeah, because obviously, you don't want confrontation, don't even look at them. And then, fingers crossed, the coach will nip that on the butt if any parents shouting negative comments. So the first thing to do is remind your child that they know more. And again, the longer your goalkeeping child plays in goal, I promise you, they will know what's right and wrong, and it'll start, what people say to them will have a less effect. So what you're then going to do as a parent, this way you need to protect your child. So if a parent is shouting stuff on the line, go and see the coach. Maybe, as I say, I don't know, let it happen once. Happens twice, that's too much. Go and see the coach. Some parents will go, oh, it's part and parcel of the game. No, it's not. They're affecting your child's confidence, okay? And again, especially if it's someone who's no idea what they're talking about, go and have a word with the coach. I mean, you can go and have a word with the parents if you want. Again, got to be careful about confrontation. I know some people are not bothered about confrontation, or that most people are. Me personally, I would go and see the coach. Even though I'm 6'4" and 19 stone, I would still go and see the coach, because I think that's the right thing to do. You've got to give the coach, obviously, to do the right thing. Now, thankfully, most coaches now are decent people. Now, look, I know there's still the odd idiot coach out there, but with social media now, and it's not just myself educating and helping mums and dads now, there's hundreds, there's thousands of us now all over the world. And what's happening now, because parents are getting educated, they don't take it from, quite rightly, as long as they do it the right way, they do it obviously respectfully. A lot of parents now just won't take it. So again, if it happens once, okay, give the coach the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he or she never heard it. If it happens twice, it's too much. Go and have a word with the coach and say, listen, coach, this is what's happening. And we've got these parents shouting on the line to my child. It's affecting the confidence. Listen, can you please nip it in the bud now? And explain about myself as well. Just say, look, we get coached by Ray Newland, or the goalkeeping coaches who's come and told me to have a word with yourselves. Now, most coaches, thankfully, you've got the right coach. They'll go, you know what, I didn't realise, and they'll nip it on the butt straight away. Because the only person, as I say, who should be shouting things on the line is the coach. And even then, it's got to be, especially with children, it's got to be, it should be positive. Yeah, allow the parents to shout positive and encouraging words, but no coach, should allow any parent to shout anything negative towards any child. So fingers crossed, if you're going to approach your coach, he might or she might go, you know what, I didn't realise, I'll have a word with it. And hopefully that will nip it in the butt. And you're helping your child then as well, okay? You're helping your child, because the last thing you want is someone just shouting nonsense at them, especially when they're young, because they will think that that's the right information and that they're doing bad, and that's going to chip away at their confidence. So you've got to nip that in the butt straight away. Okay, so what happens if you get a coach that doesn't listen? You might say, hey, my coach is an idiot, okay? Now, I say, thankfully, there's less of them now, okay? But they're still out there. But what I'd really advise you to do, again, let it happen once, twice is too much. Go and have a word with the coach and say, coach, explain, look, I'm not happy what the parents are saying. Or you might say, listen, look, I'm not happy what you're saying as a coach. Listen, we don't mind constructive criticism, but what you're saying is negative. And also we've got to watch out for as a parent as well. And again, please show this to your coach if he or she's doing this. A lot of coaches, if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, let's say it is a genuine mistake, what a lot of coaches will do will just shout at the goalkeeper. But what they don't do in the training sessions, they don't go over that mistake and say, listen, this is what you've done, this is what you should have done. Then what they should do is just go through a bit of training, put them in goal, and where they made the mistake, what they should be doing, they should do a training session where they make a save, if that makes sense, especially for the younger goalkeeper. So what I'm trying to say, what a lot of coaches will do, they'll blame the goalkeeper, but they don't put it right in training, if that makes sense. So again, as a parent, Again, you can go to a coach and say, look, you shouted at my goalkeeping child, and they might say, yeah, but he made a mistake. But your answer then is, hey, listen, yeah, he made a mistake. Yeah, just say, but you've not in training, you never put that right. So listen, you can't just keep shouting at my goalkeeping child if you're not putting it right in training. You've got to put it right in training. So I hope that makes sense, because a lot of coaches do that, because a lot of coaches, they don't understand goalkeeping, yet they know that the goalkeeper's made a mistake, okay, yeah, but they don't try to put it right in training because they don't know. So in a way, they've not got a right to be shouting negative stuff, because they either should learn it themselves, okay, or better still, bring in a goalkeeping coach that actually does know what they're talking about. So as a parent, if you approach a coach, again, I've digressed a bit there, sorry guys, but if you approach a coach who is shouting negative at your child, okay, and they're not trying to help them in training, throw that back at them as well. Just say, hey, hold on a minute, you're not helping them in training, okay, yeah, so look, only shout if you're teaching them what to do and they're doing it wrong, okay, maybe, but it's still got to be obviously positive, not negative, etc. Hope that makes sense, as I say, yeah, guys, okay. So anyway, final point: if your coach is shouting nonsense at your child, and you go and be polite and say, look, it's affecting my child's confidence. Look, if they make a mistake, I don't mind it being constructive criticism, and as long as you're trying to help my child fix their mistakes in training, fine, not a problem. But you're not just shouting at them all the time. And if the coach, obviously, unfortunately, if you've got that coach who's obviously got a big ego, okay, yeah. Again, I keep saying, guys, thankfully most of them, there's not many of them about, but they are still there. But if you've got a coach who is a big ego, who is an idiot, best advice I can give you is get your child out. Go and get them into a team where the coach is respectful towards the players and the parents as well. And again, thankfully, there's more coaches like that than not like that. And I know some parents will say, oh, Ray, but he's with his teammates, they go to school together, etc. Honestly, kids are kids. They would rather be, and they'll make friends in another team, and especially a team where obviously the coach makes sure everything's positive, no one's bullying anyone. Your child will have much more better experience. They'll make friends anyway, but for their confidence, it'll be much better if they're in an environment where, yeah, even if they make a mistake, obviously the coach has got to tell them, okay, yeah, obviously they've got to tell them, but they do it in a positive way. And the players, as I say, if you've got a coach who makes sure that the players and all the parents online, they're all helping each other, they're shouting encouragements, etc. And if there is a mistake made, the coach will take the child to one side and then try and help the child. I promise you, your child will be in a much better place, and that will help them with their confidence. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I didn't want the video to be so long, but again, for you guys that know me, my hobby's talking. I just wanted to really get that across. So the 3 points is, moving forward with your goalkeeping child, keep reminding them, the longer they play, the more they know, okay, especially people that have never played in goal before. And once your goalkeeping child starts to realise that, actually, you know what I mean, yeah, you're shouting, you've never played in goal in your life, or whatever, and that makes them bulletproof, okay, because they realise then, when they're making the mistakes, when they're not making mistakes, etc. And then they'll listen, obviously, to the right people. Then also as well, if parents are shouting negative stuff at your child, let it happen once, twice is too much, okay, yeah. Go and speak to the coach, and fingers crossed the coach will nip that in the butt, and that's how you're protecting your child. If you've got a coach that won't listen, get your child out and get them in an environment that's going to build their confidence rather than knock it. So I hope that helps, guys. Okay, any questions as a parent, or any feedback, let me know if you thought this was good, if it could have covered anything else. Please give me some feedback. If I missed out anything, I'll happily do another video. Okay. So hopefully this will